Welcome to the 5150 style guitar methods. I'm Mutz Marsh, the Eddie Van Halen geek. In this channel, I explain how I understand and apply the Eddie Van Halen technique. My guitar brain is 95% Eddie Van Halen. That's why I call my guitar style the 5150 style, after Eddie. I have an overwhelming number of research notes on Eddie Van Halen on the shelves in my room. It's safe to say that these notes represent my deep love for Eddie Van Halen. My role here is to turn all of that into videos and share them with the world. My attempt is to stock the playing techniques I've learned from Eddie so that I can draw from them and use them as my own phrases at any time. There are no tutorials here to help you play Van Halen songs. This is a method for building improvisation that only I can do worldwide. I'm not sure if this will be of any help to everyone, but I would be happy if you could watch it, just to pass the time. Everyone, stay tuned. In this session, I'll be highlighting some useful phrases from the content circulating on YouTube. Let's dive right in. First, take a listen to this. This is a live recording from 1978. Just like the one we discussed last time, it's a stage version of Eruption. The sound quality is excellent, and you can almost feel Eddie's overwhelming presence right in front of you, can't you? Among all the great parts in this performance, here's the phrase I want to spotlight today. Do you hear that repeated phrase? When I first heard this, I thought, oh, Eddie's playing the same phrase from the studio version of Eruption, but in a higher octave position. At first, it seemed like the notes were identical, but after careful listening, I realized the playing technique was entirely different. This discovery gave me mixed emotions. I was excited about learning something new, but I also felt a little unsure about whether my skills were up to the challenge. Still, I managed to figure out a way to play it at a reasonable speed, and today I'll share that with you. Once you master this technique, you'll find it incredibly versatile across any 3 notes per string scale patterns. First, let's break down the note patterns used in this phrase. Remember the 6-note ascending phrases we covered in episodes number 4 and number 5? That's right, the ones from Girl Gone Bad and Spanish Fly. In both cases, we use the 3 notes per string x2 strings pattern. Today's phrase builds on the same foundational shape. Let's start by numbering the 6 notes in this pattern, moving from the lowest to the highest. The key to this phrase is the repetition of notes 3, 4, 5, and 6. However, notes 1 and 2 are equally important because they act as connectors when shifting between strings. When playing, you don't stay in one spot. You'll often shift to a new set of 6 notes on a different string pair. 1 and 2 are essential for smooth transitions during these shifts. Personally, I often start with all 6 notes, just like in Spanish Fly, and then quickly settle into the repetitive 3, 4, 5, 6 pattern. This is why I consider 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6 as a single unit. For this phrase, I've developed a picking method as shown in the notation. A unique feature is the use of economy picking for the transition from note 3 to note 4. Keep in mind that this is my personal method and doesn't necessarily match Eddie's technique. My 5150 style is always based on the philosophy of transform it your way and let it transform you. In other words, it's about embracing something into your own style and evolving your entire playing in the process. After all, I am who I am and can never truly become Eddie himself. So it's okay if I can't play exactly the same way. Eddie gives me so much inspiration, and for me, that's more than enough. The phrase we focused on earlier is built around the D and G strings. As an advanced exercise, let's apply this system to one of Eddie's unique scale forms. Here's the scale. This is a scale form Eddie often used in tracks like I'm the One and House of Pain. From this scale, we'll extract 3 notes per string patterns for each string, using the 3, 4, 5, 6 repetition as we shift from string to string. Check the diagrams for the exact shapes on each string. The combination of strings and note groups creates distinct flavors, making this a lot of fun. While this time we shifted vertically along the scale, you can also experiment with horizontal shifts for even more variety. One thing to note is that Eddie often adds slight variations while repeating the 3, 4, 5, 6 phrase. If you've played the opening solo of I'm the One, you might notice similarities to this phrase. However, if you notate both in detail, you'll find their movements are completely different. For me, this movement was entirely new, something I hadn't encountered in my own repertoire. Personally, I sometimes substitute hammer-ons for certain pick notes, as long as the phrase retains its energy. That's all part of transform it your way and let it transform you. It takes dedicated practice to seamlessly insert variations into the rapid repetition of 3, 4, 5, 6. Once mastered, these variations will help you avoid repetitive playing and make your phrases far more dynamic. Today we focused on just one small part of Eddie's live Eruption performance. Of course, there's so much more to explore before and after the 3, 4, 5, 6 phrase. This means Eruption still has plenty of treasures waiting to be uncovered. Stay tuned for more discoveries in the future. You won't want to miss them.
Yes, that's all for this issue. How did it go? If you like it, please give us a high rating and subscribe to my channel. High ratings and channel subscriptions are my best motivation. Best regards. I will continue to upload useful information for rock guitarists, so don't miss it. Again, what I show in the 5150 style video is just an example of how I understand and utilize the Eddie Van Halen technique. There are 10 different interpretations of the technique for every 10 people, so it's up to you how you use what you learn. It may sound contradictory to say this when I am in the position of posting videos on YouTube, but to be clear, the most important part of music and guitar cannot be learned from YouTube videos. It is important to be willing to use your ears to learn and to be generous with your time. It is very important to feel the nuance and feeling with your ears. Even if it is wrong, it is very important to spend time thinking, how is it played? And try this and that, and it is very important to spend that time. There are no shortcuts. That is why I want you to spend as much time as you can with the notes. That's what I think. The watchword is keep on rocking, right? See you soon. Bye-bye.